Hi, I'm Chris from Gears and Queers.
And I'm Chris from SparkPlug TV.
And this is Fun Girlie Car Time.
That's okay. I mean, we're already recording. And last time we learned that that we have both in the past 2 episodes tried to do a greeting, even though we already have a pre-recorded greeting. So this time, we're just going to go ahead and have no greeting. And we're not even going to introduce you today because we've never had a guest on the pod. So
just I'm just here.
Yeah, you're just here. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
I'm kidding. No, for real. She doesn't even go here. For real, today on episode 5 of Fun Girlie Car Time, we actually do have our very first guest, hailing all the way from Washington, District Columbia, Jake Thiewes from Out Motorsports. Hi, Jake.
Hi.
So what t-shirt are you wearing, Jake?
It is the NASCAR Pride shirt. I thought it was very topical for this.
It is very
I love how we are both black and white, and you are the most colorful one out of the 2 of us, or the 3 of us.
Well, you can't see Miss Landry's nails. That's why.
Well, that's true.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, through my Kyocera or my Nokia brick phone.
Either works.
Those didn't even have cameras.
I know, but that's why it's so funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Was that a special edition? I remember when those came out, but like, why did they do that?
Shirt?
Was it Pride? Yeah.
They did it for, I think, Pride last year, maybe.
Okay, but
Alanis King posted on Twitter that she had bought one, and she has now influenced me to buy several pieces of Pride-themed clothing, Pride car-related clothing.
R.I.P. Twitter.
Yeah. I went over to Blue Sky because I got an invite, but then there's Threads, and I don't know if I want to go there.
Girl,
so
I heard about Threads this morning. I'm so behind.
I got Threads today, and I posted that I was about to go live with Out Motorsports and Gears and Queers, and I was the only one out of the 3 of us that had it. Because I couldn't add either of you.
I tried to create an account. What day was it? Was it when I went to visit my parents? It was like Saturday. But it was like the day shit went entirely to fucking back.
Right.
And it was saying like account creation temporarily disabled. And I was like, oh my god, like if only I had done this earlier, but...
Well, because out of the 3, and my next point was that out of the 3 of us, we're all kind of the same age, but I am like the most social media like maven girly, like with the TikTok and the Threads. No,
Just because I don't know how to use TikTok does not mean I am an old man.
And you know what? Solidarity, Jake. And as the youngest,
I appreciate you.
I also just don't understand the tick or the talk.
Well, the tick and the talk are both my biggest assets right now, so I'm still, it's my fattest asset.
I am modern with it. I have an iPhone, so...
I love the way you said that. Oh my goodness. Poor Chris is gonna die.
What is that? Is that iPhone have a lock button on it? Like, I mean, a thumbprint?
It's an iPhone 5. It's a prop I have.
Oh,
okay.
I can see it.
I have that. I have an iPod Nano.
Wait,
why do you have all of these out?
I have
an old iPod.
I do.
Right.
Why do you have an iPod? What is happening? What is happening?
iPhone 4 somewhere.
Everyone is pulling out their old early 2000s tech. What the hell?
Oh my god.
I have an entire PowerBook sitting right over my shoulder that I'm not going to get, but...
There's your little thumb thing right there.
Yeah, that was a iPhone 4.
I am screaming.
Siri for the first time.
That was my first. That was my first iPhone, actually.
And you know, Siri has not gotten any better since that first one.
No, she has not.
She is dumber than we are combined.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes. Well, and I don't think that any of the like, hey Lexus, Toyota, or hey any of those Mercedes, I don't think they're any better either than Siri. So.
Did you see Jimmy posted to somebody's Discord about the 4th of July graphics on the EQE he just got? Like, the car downloaded
somewhere.
the graphics and just was like, hey, 4th of July. And it just was like, what? Why?
Yeah, everything, it's all very silly. And my favorite thing with the Mercedes, I've had some as press cars, they're like, oh, you can say anything, speak naturally to it. So I get in and I'm like, hey, Mercedes, pair my phone. Like, the first thing you would think of doing, right? Mm-hmm. If you ask any Mercedes-Benz to pair your phone, it will get you directions to a nail salon.
What? Well, I mean, pertinent for Chris.
Does not know how to do that.
Yeah, that works for me.
Pertinent, yeah.
I don't know what Bluetooth is. I really.
But then the other part of it is like, okay, fine. I'll go to the nail salon. If you use the built-in navigation, more than one time now it has led me to like the middle of a highway and been like, yeah, you're here.
You're done. It's fine. Just get out of the car.
Right? Just walk.
Is it Mercedes that if you ask it to tell you a joke about BMW, it actually has some really sassy ones? Or is
I've never tried that.
It's either that or in the reverse, like ask the BMW one about Mercedes. But I think
that's hysterical.
I think you can say, "Hey Mercedes, tell me a joke about BMW," and she'll be like, "I would, but," and then like says something sassy, and you're like,
"Oh my god!"
They programmed sass in.
Well, I mean,
hysterical.
They are sassy. The robots, like between like the Echo Dot and Siri, they tell jokes about each other too. So
they're like somewhat sentient.
You know, I have like 18 of them in the house because I can't be bothered to turn on a light myself. Like, I just have to scream it at a robot thing.
Yeah, Susan shades me for that all the time. She's like, "So you want the CIA to listen to you, but you're too lazy to turn on a light yourself?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Let the CIA listen. What do I do that's interesting?
A lot, actually. Like, give yourself some credit.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's interesting to the CIA.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
But maybe my CIA agent is just sitting there like, you know what? I'm glad he's in therapy because he needs it.
All right, so steer. Let me steer this Titan submersible over to the next topic, which is Jake. How about you go ahead and since we were kind of already talking like we're all girly pops, which we are, but like how about go ahead and like introduce yourself a little bit and talk about motorsports. About when you decided that you were homosexual.
3 to 5 sentences.
3 to 5 sentences, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, well, so like you said, I'm from D.C. I grew up an hour away. I never left because, I don't know, I like it here. I founded Out Motorsports with a friend of mine, hi Tyler, in 2018. And our whole goal was to like build community for LGBT car enthusiasts. And what that has turned into is community online for people to gather in different ways, and events in person, which are arguably super fun. I'm a little biased because they're my events, but I think they're great. So we do stuff on the street, and we do stuff on the racetrack, and people should come to any and all of it. And the fun girly part is that we were doing this all kind of around the DC area because I live here, so I'm biased. But we're going to do stuff around the country soon. So we're going up to the Poconos in September. We're going to LA. We're going to Gingerman Raceway in Michigan. Maybe planning a little thing near Atlanta with one of you two, with Madame Padam over there.
Did you know that Chris also likes to do fun things in the street as well, on corners specifically?
I've heard that, but I don't think it's car related.
No, it's not. Well, he hangs out in like the window of cars and is like
hanging out the passenger side of his best friend bride.
Why am I the prostitute?
Because you're the pretty woman.
because I have nails and they pronouns is why I am the pretty woman. Yes. But wait, Chris, that's how we met at IRL. We met at the road rally.
Oh,
yes.
Not on a street corner.
It was not a street corner. No.
The street corner of the internet, which was Twitter.
Yes. Right. I don't pay for sex. But I'm not shaming anyone for it, but I don't personally do it.
It's valid.
Yes. I benefit from it. Anyways, porn?
I was like, what do you mean you benefit from it?
Jake's already regretting being on this.
He's like, can I delete this somehow? Remotely?
No, but yes, we did meet at Mountain Mama, and yes, and no, Jake, you're not biased in the sense that they're fun. They are very fun. I had a blast that weekend. And honestly, like, it was just, and I was earnest in what I said in the LGBTQs and their CAR segments that I've been doing on my TikTok. Check it out if you haven't already. But I was earnest in the sense that, like, yeah, I mean, like, it was just really amazing to find community in this space, when I feel like a lot of like local communities, especially where I'm at in Raleigh, like, it's not really the most homosexual of communities in this area. So to have found a space of, group of people where we, have dinner together and go racing and, do drag in the lobby and scare, regular people, Tom, Dick, and Harry in the hotel and,
Right.
So, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. I think there's just like a lot of room. There's all these different ways to connect with people online, which is super special and super helpful, and we all need that. And you can like meet people in your area through the internet who are into cars, like as we all have. But I think having the events in person, even if you come to one a year, is just super special. So
it's like a way to
get
a lot to do them. Your internet friends all together in one place. Too.
Exactly.
Like I've met so many people that I've known via the internet. Like, I mean, you two bitches, for example.
Well, right. Like that's how we met.
So
that's how
rude.
We met,
don't
really.
call me a bitch.
Oh my god, you called me a prostitute. Like
that's so true. It's so true. But yeah, so like I said, like I did the LGBTQs and their CARs with oh god, what was his name? Aaron? The R8 queen, the black R8, the 2010 R8.
Oh, Jonathan.
That
Aaron,
popped.
Jonathan, same thing.
Ends in an N.
Yeah.
Close.
Right. That one went off, but the one that we did, everyone, and I texted you about this, but everyone was hating on that one so hard out. I don't understand. Like, it's the same format. I thought we were cute and funny.
I thought we were.
Yeah, you were funny.
What was the hate?
It was just they kept calling us like pompous and like assholes, and I was just like, I was very, and then one of them liked the video and then commented, "This is so cringe, I hate this," and I was like, "Babe, you was like, I see your like
you said you liked it."
Yeah, like
is it ironic? Like, this is so cringe, I hate this, or is it like, this is so cringe, I hate this?
Well, I think it's just the fact that like these people that get the video from the algorithm, they don't know who Jake or I are, and or what we're doing. So they probably think that like, because I've had a lot of
either.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't. I told the guy I'm talking to today that I don't know what I'm doing, but I was crying anyway.
We're gonna put a pin in that one.
I'm being vulnerable on the pod, and I might cut that. But I think people just think that we all own these brand new Lexuses and Volkswagens, and like, that we are like these rich, like, generational wealth having like nepo babies that like that we're just I don't know.
I have a name. I'm right here.
Her name is Jake.
I'm kidding. I'm very kidding. For those who don't know me, I'm so kidding.
Canceled.
Okay, but that is an interesting point, though, because, like, I guess, if you're driving this car, like, Jake, you were in a brand new MK8, Chris, you were in the ES, like, and you don't really say, like, this is a real car, this does not belong to me, like,
right,
I guess
this is Volkswagen's car.
Yeah.
In fairness, Jake did say that this is a car for review in the video.
Yeah, but, like, people don't pay attention.
That involves reading comprehension.
Right. Reading is fundamental, however, people don't care.
Right.
I've read a book, at least one.
Right.
That's fair. Car and driver counts.
Oh my god. So speaking of press launch, so what do you have right now, Jake?
So they just took away a brand new GMC Canyon AT4.
Oh, that's right.
I adore those trucks. They're fantastic. And I have a Kia EV6 GT, which is like almost 600 horsepower.
That is so
out of a Kia hatchback thing.
SUV,
it
mind
has
you.
Neon green accents. It's not an SUV. It has
I know. It's a hot hatch. I know.
It's a really big hatch.
I know.
However, it has an EPA rated range of 206 miles. So it has drift mode and it's really fast, but I'm going on a road trip this weekend and I literally can't take it because running the AC going 80 miles an hour in 90-degree heat, it will get like 12 miles of range, and then once you get west of Maryland, there's nowhere to charge it because I'm driving to Kentucky. And like, all respect to the states along that route, but there's no chargers there.
Not even Teslas?
That's still a huge issue, right? Like,
I think there's Teslas, but they don't help for us.
Does Kia, did Kia not like, I can't remember, is Kia not one of the manufacturers that like did that? Because it's GM, Ford, and then did Kia hop on that?
I don't know if they've officially agreed to it yet, but they that whole agreement is just to install the connector on their cars like for 2024 or 5 onward. Like the current stuff is still CCS. So it's going to be a transition period still. And yeah, I looked, I'm like, there's no way I can take this. So instead we're taking my dirty diesel, this Porsche Cayenne diesel, and we're going to drive that instead. It's the car that kicked off Electrify America.
Well, if I could be biased...
It's full circle.
Yeah, it's the circle of life.
If I could be biased and say that I would rather take that on a road trip anyway, because I've taken Cayennes on a road trip, and I much prefer that.
I mean, they have some of the best seats in the world, and they're very comfy, and mine gets 34 miles a gallon on the interstate, so...
We love
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's thrifty.
It's a good car.
That's thrifty. That's very thrifty.
Queen.
And it's good for her to get some miles, because doesn't she ends up sitting a lot, because you're on this little weekly press car moment.
Yeah, I've been in this press car rotation thing, which I kind of fell into, and it's fun. It kind of happened because I was challenging myself, like, can I do this every week? Like, I made it a game. And then now it's like the dog caught the car, and I have to do something with them every week. so it's very tiring.
That is really
But yeah, this poor Cayenne like sits like I cleaned it just now to leave tomorrow, and like there were cobwebs between the mirror housing and the door.
Oh, no.
I'm dead. Oh my god. And sometimes you get 2 at a time, don't you? Because I remember you got that like Alfa Romeo and that Audi at the same time.
Yeah, it's really rare that happens because I try to make it not happen, because then I like panic and have to just like send the Cayenne somewhere and like ask friends who also don't have enough parking, like, can you take in a stray cat for a couple weeks?
What a stray cat that
It's
is.
expensive.
Yeah.
And what a stray cat that is.
It is, there are worse stray cats to take in.
Like, hey guys, can you just please, like, my poor diesel Cayenne with at least a few options. I don't know how... She's well equipped, right?
She's pretty well equipped, actually.
She's a nice spec.
I got this one because she has a lot of options.
Look at her. She has cooled seats.
Cooled seats. She has power sunshades on the back doors.
Oh.
Extended wood trim.
Ooh. I like when the wood is extended.
Don't we all?
Poor Chris.
There's a penis joke. Poor me. What do you mean? I'm the first one to talk about dicks and cocks, so like what are we
Can you believe we are 18 minutes in and neither of us have said...
Cunt?
Say it. Oh my god.
Well, Susan officially does not listen to this anymore, so like we are primed and prepped and ready for cunt.
Susan?
We are prepped. I can do anything in the world. I'm on prep.
Honey, I don't wear seatbelts. I'm on prep.
I don't look when I cross the street.
Not you thinking that prep is a condom, Jake. God.
I was on a plane the other week, and they're like, the pilots are both passed out. Can anyone land this plane? I was like, yeah, I'm in prep.
You're like,
Oh my god.
I landed a 737. It was fine.
Descovy's child.
Yeah.
Descovy's
Southwest
child.
Airlines. Hey.
I'm fucking dead. So, okay, to circle back, why am I being the wrangler in this thing?
I don't know how
Usually you're the chaotic one, aren't you?
I know, I really am.
This is like abuse.
Making me do the work. Anyways, so tell the listeners about how what I was surprised to hear about the GMC Canyon, about how the trailer package there's no receiver unless you pay for it.
This was a little fun girly slip up on my part. So I went to the first drive for the Canyon and the Colorado earlier this year, and all the trucks that we had, they had 30 of them at each event. They all had trailer hitches, so I requested one to do a towing video with, assuming it would have a trailer hitch. Dumbass me kind of forgot the fact that on every truck, this is not a GMC thing, but like every midsize truck, every half-ton truck, trailer hitches are options.
On like all the new GMs?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, even on the F1, but so not just GMs, Fords too?
Yeah, and I mean, with all of them, if you get like a lot of the different trim levels, a lot of them don't come with a hitch. So in the case of the Canyon, it was an $815 trailering package to get a trailer hitch receiver and the wiring connector like at the back bumper. And I kind of had this feeling when they showed up to drop this truck off, and I was like, I don't know, it's probably me worrying. And I just got in and parked it, and I looked at the back bumper, and I was like, oh, fuck.
No.
all it has the little spots where you put the chains for the trailer, for the eyes. No hitch, no connector, no nothing.
What?
So it just did not have that.
It does not. There is. Yeah,
So you could drag it with sparks on the back, but you can't
Correct.
like actually put it on the receiver. Got it.
And I didn't feel like dragging a 7,000-pound trailer with the chains was an accurate representation of how it would tow.
Maybe not, but I think at least somebody would find it funny.
Except for the part where I would have to then fix my own trailer. We're not making that kind of money.
Wouldn't be you that finds it funny, but
correct.
You could be bringing a trailer, just very dramatically bringing a trailer.
Scraping a trailer, dragging.
Yeah, scraping a trailer. That we should come up with.
Gays do, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what?
Reading a trailer. I don't know.
Oh my god, I actually, speaking of trailers, replaced a rotted tire on my jet ski trailer this weekend.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
masculine.
Very
Trailer
nice.
tires are terrifying, so I'm glad you should replace the others.
Yeah, there's only
The thing is, like with a car tire, you can get mediocre, good, better, best for like the quality of the tire.
Sure.
Every trailer tire is like the cheapest junk from somewhere overseas, and if you go like 57 miles an hour, they explode.
Do you remember when we borrowed your friend's trailer to do the MLPO?
Yeah.
That thing, like, it was like $100 with the rim on it. Like, because we,
Right.
Chris,
you can buy them with a
were
wheel.
obviously not part of this, but we popped the tire. Something happened. I was like terrified. I was like, oh, let me buy you a new one. And it was literally like, I had never heard of the brand before, but it was like the one to get, and it matched all the other ones. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's like,
But they all have
thousands
names
of
like
pounds.
I think my trailer has Trailer King tires on it, or like
Trailer
Road
King.
Warriors, or like some
very
just-
mask for mask name,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
just.
It's like the 06 Accord, and it's Road Hugger tires.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, where did you get these? Like, who sells these?
Speaking of your ML, Chris, what's going on with her? Do you want me to traumatize you or no?
No, what we're not going to do is tell all, because that will be coming. But
Love a good teaser.
she is going to the body shop for apparently 4 to 8 weeks
For nip and tuck,
for a little nipple tuck,
for a little yank, little yank.
little pull the pad, And
That is not what I said. I did not.
This is the second time we've now talked about paying for sexual activities.
I'm not
That's true.
paying for this.
Well, someone is.
Somebody is. This is
Oh,
right.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we're not talking about it. But
Sure.
it will come to be soon. But I will just have only 3 Honda Accords to drive for a while, and I don't know how I'm
I
gonna.
know you were complaining to me earlier, and I was like, "Oh, boo! You got."
The ML is nice and fixed.
I know.
Everything. And now I won't have it for 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
So
a long
hard.
time. Oh my
I'm sure you'll
god.
get through
I will.
in these
Actually,
trying times.
I was joking about putting a hitch on the 06 Accord to see if I could pull the Sportsman with it, but I think that was pushing it. So
Well, I'd probably guesstimate that that's probably the same weight of like a U-Haul trailer, so you could probably put like a class 1 hitch on it or something.
you can get one, and it's rated for 2,000 pounds, but the car's rated for 1,000. And the Sportsman itself weighs like 770, so it's just like, ugh.
You'd be. I don't know if I would.
I don't think.
Because
I would.
especially, have you looked at how all those hitches like mount to those cars?
I looked, and it's like on
Through
this
the
one
spare tire well,
specifically.
right?
This one specifically has like these 2 little arms that come out and go to the frame, and it utilizes existing like holes with like these little studs you have to like fish through with a wire. It's weird. But it's actually pretty much like plug and play on the 4-cylinder, though you do have to drill a hole if you have the V6. I don't really understand why, but I don't, so.
Did you know that the BMW 5 Series can tow 4,400 pounds?
Which one?
The 22.
Really?
Yeah, the towing
Why?
capacity. I don't know, because I remember somebody told me that, and I was fascinated by the fact that the 5 Series has an incredible towing capacity. And while you were talking about the fact that your Accord can only tow 1,000, I wanted to see exactly how much it was.
My ass. 1,000 pounds. That's not shit.
This chicken is as juicy as my ass. Out of the same energy.
I mean, literally though, like you could put if you assume that like each person in the car is like maybe 150 or so pounds, has 5 seats. Like that's basically, I can't do math, but that's like 750 pounds.
Oh, you mean for just like the general
like overall capacity? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But my concern would mostly be like, am I gonna like hit the brakes once and just shear the bolts off and just like get plowed into by this U-Haul trailer? Like,
Well, you usually do get plowed into, but
I topped today, okay?
Oh.
Let's everybody clap. In case of emergency, break glass.
And this was like a midday topping?
No, this was
an afternoon delight.
This was like an hour. No, it was more than an hour ago. It's like an hour and a half ago.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Growth. Look at
Right. We love that. I don't even have a reaction to that.
that. Oh my god.
Okay, so did you have some other topics that you wanted to touch on, Chris, or any?
I did.
Yeah.
I believe we actually touched on this a little bit earlier in the group chat, Jake, but you said your race car is now fun-girly fixed.
This BMW is back.
And what was her tea?
So I blew up the engine. I don't have that prop with me, but I have an entire connecting rod on my coffee table. Blew up the engine a couple months ago. Had this shop that is like kind of notorious for not doing the best work the first time.
Dox
Put a
them.
new engine in the car.
Dox them.
They well.
I'm just
Don't
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But the only reason I took it there and not my regular mechanic is that this shop had the very wrecked car that I was getting the engine out of to put into mine. So I was like, fine, y'all are right near my house. Make these two cars into one. And I went to the track again, and something was wrong with the transmission or the clutch, and it wouldn't shift. And they claim that my 9-month-old pressure plate failed because I had put an entire clutch kit in the car last year. And I'm just like, well, it may have. However, you all touched all that when you installed, they used my clutch assembly and my transmission on this engine. And I'm like, you sure you didn't like drop it and like bend some of the little thingies? Because that seems more likely to me.
Is that what happened? Did they like fess up, or what happened? What was the result? The resolution?
So I buy all my parts from FCP Euro, so lifetime warranty. So I got a whole new clutch kit for free from them.
Really?
Oh wow!
And
That's
they
awesome.
just installed all the new parts, so clutch, pressure plate, flywheel, throwout bearing, whatever.
Shout out FCP Euro.
Yeah, we love FCP Euro.
I buy from there.
They will even let you return used oil.
What?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
You can warranty oil.
People that live nearby like return everything to them, like nearby the warehouse.
That's like
Our
buying.
brake
That's like
pads
buying
for-
a jarred fart or something.
A what?
Yeah, people buy jarred fart. There's a woman that makes like tens of thousands of dollars from buying jarred farts.
I think that should be your next one. Like, you've done the shirtless TikTok lives. Like, why don't you just start auctioning off jarred fart on
Well,
TikTok?
I did talk in my TikTok live about my feet journey. So, and by the like fifth minute of me talking about my feet, they were like, "Can you please stop talking about that?" And I'm like, "I know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm talking about my feet." But
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Still here.
Well, because people will be like, how tall is bro? How big is bro? And I'm like, girl, what? We are not talking about that on my live. Like, we're not doing that.
Is that a penis reference?
Yes, about my dick and cock. Yes. Mm-hmm.
They call it bro?
Well, they call me
feel like
bro.
I'm 85.
Well, okay, so like TikTok live, it's like they find me because they're scrolling through based off of
Because they're...
Because they're what?
Gay.
Probably secretly so, yeah. They're probably on Sniffies.
We can't talk about Sniffies again. We've already done that.
I know. I've got to get off Sniffies. I got to talk to my therapist about that.
I opened it one time and was like, this is very chaotic. I can't handle this, and closed it again.
Girl, the way that, like, I live in a, single family neighborhood, I'm like, these bitches could know exactly where the fuck I am. Like, delete, like...
Let's not get into Sniffies again. Proceeds to get into Sniffies.
As the girls do.
Yeah, that's true. But tell Jake, we just mentioned that it's a BMW. So what kind of BMW? And like, have you gutted it? Have you put safety equipment in it? What's going on?
Yeah, so it is a 1995 325 IS. The racing series I'm in is called Spec 3. So they are all 93 to 95 325s. Fully gutted roll cage, seat, harness, fire system, window net, the whole 9 yards. And we all run the same parts. So engine, transmission, clutch, differential, shocks, brake pads, wheels, tires, all that. So the cars, in theory, are identical, and it comes down to your driver talent, which for me is often a little lacking.
Okay.
Well, it'd be nice. Didn't you recently win one, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I mean, we all get lucky sometimes.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually.
Exactly.
That's what I say when I experience a thought.
What is it with the two of you and these idioms today? What is going on? Didn't Jake have one earlier? I don't like it.
You'll have one too.
Yeah, everyone's quippy.
Selling my BMW right now is sucking on hind teat.
What does that even mean? Wow, am I the only one that has a BMW? Wow.
I'm currently that gif of the woman with math going around.
So when I first heard that myself, I was also the woman with the math around her head because I heard it from my very, very deep Southern accented client who I do photography and cinematography work for. And he's very country, and he was like, man, that MR2 sucking on the hind teat, and I was like, what? I'm sorry. I was like, Girlie Pop, what?
You're like, Squirrely Pop, I didn't understand your pussiana.
Yeah, and then literally, I'm not even kidding. Like 5 minutes later, I was explaining slay the house down boots to him, and at some point he was like slay. He was like slay the house down boots, and I was like, yes.
We need a song that.
When they primarily sell like clapped out lifted F-150s and like GMC 1500s and I'm there in my like short shorts with like a 360-degree camera like, okay, here we go. Like
you know what? You're breaking down barriers. I am.
I love the allyship. I was visiting my parents they live in Rehoboth Beach, which for those listening who are unaware is a gay beach destination.
I did not know that.
Because Paula and Ann are allies. But they have made new friends in their new neighborhood, and most of them are gay men. So they're learning all sorts of things. So when I was there, I introduced them to Padam.
Okay.
So now they know. But
in the Bentley? I saw that picture.
Yes, in the Bentley.
Yeah.
How else?
But they went out with some friends, and they're going to have people over to their new house to have like a little open house sort of deal. And my dad calls me last night. He's like, I drink beer. What do I do for all these guys for cocktails? Like, what should I stock a bar with? I need your help. And I was like, Tito's.
You're like, Tito's handmade vodka.
Right.
Down.
Soda water.
Yeah. That is so precious.
But he's
cranberry juice.
Because he's all nervous because apparently all these guys have when you go to their houses, they have signature cocktails. And
oh yeah.
He's like I don't know what I should do for a signature cocktail. I'm like, just leave the stuff out. They'll do it.
He literally, I would die laughing if some buddy's parents invited all the gays over and there was just a pitcher full of vodka soda and a pitcher full of vodka cranberry, and that was just
and a pile of limes.
Yes, and just be figure it out. That's so cute.
It might not be more than that for them. I'm excited to hear how it goes.
That's so cute. I'm terrified of what they're going to learn and then ask you about.
Yeah. Boots the house down would be funny if they asked me. There are a lot of things that I would not wish to fully explain. Although when we were there, Jack and Garrett were with me, and I ended up explaining what a twink was to my mother.
And she was like, I've had a few of them in my day. I don't know why I'm saying that in that voice.
My mother is a very southern man.
You know what? Get you a girl that can do both.
Exactly.
I was in Savannah this weekend, where my parents live, and some man messages me on Grindr and is like, I wanted to say hi to you, but you were with your husband. And I'm like, my father? Absolutely not. I'm like, my husband? It's Keith. That's my father. Stop.
Daddy. Stepdad.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, I look like him. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm dead. I was gonna say that, like, my one time and this is actually kind of like this whole adjacent. It's my whole adjacent.
His name is Jason?
It's my whole adjacent. Is my mic on? Can you hear me? So there was one time when it was like a year into this or something, and like one of my YouTube videos went viral because my ego made me pay for like advertising on Google, and I was like, because I'm putting all of this effort into my videos, somebody has to see it, and it was my Ioniq 5 video, my Ioniq 5 video. And somebody on Grindr recognized me and was like, "Oh yeah, I saw your video on the Ioniq 5, like, because I was looking at buying one. You know, thanks for your review, blah blah blah." And then I told my mom that somebody on Grindr, and my mom knows what Grindr is, but so I told her, that I saw it. It was nothing. Like, it was just, she was just like, "Oh, cool, awesome, great." Then my mom and dad and I went to dinner, and my brother was out with his friends. And my mom and dad and I, just the three of us, went to dinner, and we were on our way back. And I was like, "Dad, did mom tell you that I got recognized on a dating app?" Because my dad is like very just like not in the zeitgeist whatsoever. He is just very mechanical engineer, and that's all he does. Like, he's just got LinkedIn, and that's all he does. And my mom literally whips around and is like, "Dating site? That Grindr is for sex." And I was like, and I was like, "Oh my God." And my dad was like, "What?" And my mom was like, "Yeah, that they just greet each other with penis pictures and whole picture and like asshole pictures." And my dad was like, "What?" And I was like,
I'm gonna crash this car right now.
So at any rate, it was really funny.
I think my folks, I have just told them that Grindr is a place you can see who else is nearby.
And I hope they don't have Google.
Yeah. Like, do not go to the App Store. Do not try this. Do not experiment. Just take it at face value.
You know, that is so unique. I think my family would probably turn into a pile of dust if they knew what
any of this was
conversation exchanged on those apps.
Yeah. Miss Landry, have you been recognized on Hollywood Squares as a Gears and Queers?
Do you remember? I think I forget how long ago this was. And Chris, I don't think you would have known this, but somebody messages me on Grindr and goes, "Are you Jake from Out Motorsports?" And I was like,
"That's right, I forgot about that."
I'm like, you are so close, but you are so far. And I'm like, what the fuck? I think I texted you right after, and I was just like, I'm like, the brown hair, the car, is that what you just went on there?
It's the gay.
The gay, the beard. I was on Fire Island like a week ago. I got home this time last week, I guess. And while I was there, like, people still use Hollywood Squares despite the island is Grindr. Like, you can just walk around and point and be like, "You."
So like how it used to be.
Exactly. But, someone messaged me and was like, "Oh my God, you're Jake from Out Motorsports, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, who's asking?"
You're like, yes.
I also get that very much, like, deer in headlights, like, "Who's asking? Can I help you?" Like,
well, because like if I'm about to have like a hookup sort of encounter with you, oftentimes I might prefer to have you not know who I am when I leave.
Right.
Well, I mean, like,
not with that individual. I was a little spent already. Mama was successful while we were out there.
Wow, she got hers is.
She
She already
and
done
so
had
that
hers is.
And so that is the episode. Good night. Okay. That is.
I don't think anybody has recognized me directly on Grindr, but God, when was this? My cousin's wedding in 2019 was in upstate New York, and that was the summer that Gears and Queers began to exist. It was like June or July of 2019, and my cousin's wedding was in September. And so we go, and there is I think it was Haggerty was having a Concours d'Elegance, and my brother was like, yes, Eleganza. My brother was like, cars, you, car? And I was like, yes. And so we went before the wedding, and I'm like, taking a little picture of it was like a bunch of like really like early like
Honda Accords.
Yeah, I wish. But it was like cars from like the 20s, like Hutmobiles and shit. And I hear someone say, "Are you Chris?" And I turn, and at that point, like Gears and Queers had like 3.5 followers, so I knew who all of them were. And I was like, "Is your name Jake?" Of course, it was another Jake. And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my God." And my brother was like, "Who the fuck just recognized you from the internet?" And like, he could not let that go for the longest time. But it was just like, what are the odds? Like, I am just like, I don't live in upstate fucking New York. This guy lived like 4 hours away.
Well, and especially if this was like a brand new, at the time.
Yes, it was like
that's really cool.
Like fresh out the womb. Like it was a month or two into this whole thing, and I was like, that was the craziest for me.
I would also like to preface that like none of us are like super duper big yet, so I think for the fact that like we're all, I don't know. I think all of like if drag queens are like D-level celebrities, we're like Z-level celebrities, where we're like in such a fringe market that like even because drag queens talk about how they're on the fringe all the time, but I feel like because we are homos in this auto industry, like, and especially in like the social media space of this industry, we are so. But the niche be niche. But the other thing is that like I didn't realize. Because when I started this whole, I don't know if I talked about this on the pod before, but like when I started this, I thought I was like the only girl in the world, like coming up and being like, I'm gonna break down barriers and it's gonna be me only and blah blah blah, and then come to find out now, cut to the three of us on this fucking podcast. So, and all of everybody in the industry, I mean, like whether they be in the corporate world or the media side, like everybody's a little gay to some description, or trans identifying or somebody. I mean, everybody is queer in one way or another.
Dead ass. That was how it was for like me and other Jake that started Gears and Queers with me. It was like, oh my God, we're like trend setting. We're like doing this. It's like amazing. And it's like Jake Thiewes over here we find on the internet, and it's like, oh, there was more. And then it's like, oh, you mean everybody in the car world is gay? Like,
right. It's just like there's a lot of people in the auto industry between media and like OEMs and third parties and whatever else who are some sort of queer, LGBTQ, whatever you want to call it, but are not very vocal or visible or whatever for a variety of reasons. So I think the fact that us three girlies are matters more than people think.
I tend to agree, and largely because I just can't shut the fuck up ever, but...
That's so true, Messy.
But, like, do you guys get messages being like, I see myself in, like...
Yes.
And it's always the most unhinged shit. Like, the podcast has elicited some of these already. Like, just the fact that people like this exist, that speak like us, that are this unique combination of... but it's just not very well represented. So that's why I say, like, the niche be niche, because...
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, it's nice to see the other people, like yourself, to see yourself in other people. So...
I love seeing myself in other people.
I did it earlier.
Good fucking bye, Jake. Oh my God. Oh my God. That coming from you. That is.
You listen to more things on this podcast. I listen to this podcast.
No, I know, but I just like.
Listeners.
Excuse me. We have like hundreds of listeners now. Actually,
I'm so excited.
Do we?
Yeah, we are almost monetized. We're almost monetized, and we are global, and we have people in the Philippines listening to us. I talked to some of our Filipino fans.
Wow.
Yeah, and Brazil, and the UK and Sweden.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
I don't know. I guess they saw the Beetle with the bob and were like, "That's me."
They're like,
I gotta listen to that.
Did I
I finally feel represented and heard.
Yeah.
oh God, when was this? Jake, you probably have heard about this before, but whenever I first made the first batch of Gears and Queers shirts, they were sold on Teespring, so I know that they were like available in the US, but also they had like a UK printing thing. Somebody messages, like DMs the Gears and Queers Instagram, and is like, I found this shirt at a thrift store in the country of Georgia.
What?
The country, not the state where Christopher lives, the country of Georgia. Somebody got a Gears
I live
and
in North
Queers
Carolina.
But like, is that
We love
fucking
that for you.
insane? Like, how the hell did that happen?
That is so wild. Like, how did?
Well,
it get there?
maybe somebody bought it in Georgia and then was like, maybe this doesn't fit, or maybe is the printing press in Georgia? I don't know.
Girl, I don't know, but I'm just like, imagine you're just traipsing along and wherever
Wow.
the fuck that is, I couldn't even point on a map, honestly, and you're just like, oh, Gears and Queers? It's so nuts to me. Like, I get so caught up in thinking, like, nobody outside of this 10 by 10 room gives a shit about what I think, and it's like, somebody had to read the word Gears and Queers on a t-shirt in Eastern Europe. Like, what?
Yeah, and they're like,
Wow.
I'll buy this one.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, I'm gonna just
Wow, she's
shut that topic down. Well, we've only got like 13 minutes left, so ish. So all right, Jake, what car are you really excited about that's already out right now? Like, what is your it can be fleet that you've had or not.
Ooh, I think the one that has still stuck with me, I did get to drive one last year. Yeah, early last year. Cadillac CT5 Blackwing.
Oh my God.
I am so into it. It is there have been other cars that I have been able to drive where I think about them after they're gone. I like them. They're fun. The Blackwing was the only car where during the week-long loan, I not only did the math several times to see if I could somehow make this work and buy one, and emailed the GM fleet rep and said, can I just buy this one when it's out of the fleet?
Wow.
She was like, it's spoken for, otherwise maybe. But I also cannot afford it. But it is just, like, it's the last of what Cadillac's going to do like that. It's so unhinged, and we all can identify with being unhinged.
Speak for
And
yourself.
it was just fantastic. And, like, there's other cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff, but, like, it was just... It was also very unique. It felt like it was built for me. Yeah, I had it at Summit Point, and the most like badass part of all of this was I emailed Cadillac after they had said you can have the loan because it happened to get scheduled over my event. I didn't ask for it for the event.
Wow.
And I emailed them back and I was like, hey, we've got this fun coincidence, and I've rented a racetrack already.
As one does.
Can I track it? And they were like, yeah, don't do burnouts, like save the tires, but yeah, you can do whatever you want.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So I'm
so jealous.
Beat the hell out of it for 2 days.
That is just so fun. I
And
really
I
wish
mean,
I
like,
went to that one.
The GM PR people, like, I'm not like blowing smoke up their ass. Like, the GM PR people are some of the coolest PR people I have met as far as like the leeway they will give you for what you can do if you ask.
Awesome. We love to hear that. And that car was so cute looking too. It was the blue, right?
Oh, it was that like electric kind of light blue with the black and white seats, red seat belts.
Stop! That's the exact. That's the spec I
like,
want.
That's why I emailed them. I'm like, I just want this one. I don't want to build one. I want this one. So, yeah, I really, really like that a lot. I don't know what else is.
And then what about future? Like anything coming out in the future that you're excited for?
I mean, I'm always excited to see like what's coming down the pike in general.
The VinFast VF9.
Say that again.
The VinFast VF9.
Oh, yeah, I'm super pumped for that. I truly, I missed, like, I got an invite to go to Vietnam, like where Kevin Williams went, and I didn't.
Did you really?
Yes, because it was going to be like 2 weeks, and I didn't have I have a day job. I couldn't just take off time for this. I hope they put those cars in press fleets, and I hope that they are in DC, and I hope that I can drive one and see if it's actually trash, because I trust everyone that has told me it is, who has been on these events and is like, this is not good right now.
Trust but verify.
But I just want to see for myself, like, truly, how is it?
I keep making Yugo jokes to Kevin about that, and he's like, Yugo was an established product. And I'm like, okay, damn.
Yugo was better.
Yeah, I'm like, not us gassing up the Yugo of all things.
Yeah.
In Soviet Russia, car drives you.
That country don't even exist anymore. Yugoslavia, what's that now? It's like Bosnia?
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Jake, for joining us today on Fun Girly Fucking Car Time.
Yes.
This has been so chaotic, as it always is when we just hang out. So I'm glad we could like bring this to the internet.
Yes, we could build this.
People.
Yes, we could bring this full force in other people's speakers.
And I'm also glad that I was able to make tall Chris die a couple times, because I feel like I'm kind of serious and like square a bit, and then I just say something.
No, it's very deadpan, and I appreciate.
Yeah,
shut the
like
fuck up.
my style is much more deadpan, and I think a lot of people think I'm kind of a jerk or boring or both.
Girl, you have been too self-deprecating on this episode. You are not any of that. So like that's we're gonna stop the hate talk.
Stop the recording before that.
No, but thank you for being on the pod today. I know I've said this, I've beaten this dead horse, but like you have really opened a lot of doors for me, and I really appreciate it. And you always give, and so you don't have
you're
to
part of
thank
this
me.
big gay circle that we've built.
Circle jerk,
and that goes for the both of you, not just one of you.
Internet hugs.
Internet hugs.
But yeah, anything that you would like to say, Chris? Anything else? Any last words before I slit your fucking pig throat?
Well, wow.
Wow, we're really still on like the high emotion.
We really are. Obviously, I mean, if you've seen my latest Instagram reel, you know that I have a high opinion of Jake and what he has created. So I am so thankful that you decided to join us on this unhinged journey.
Unhinged is the best type of hinged. It's
Not
great.
a single hinge to be found.
No, hinges here.
No, that's because I'm already face down, ass up in the hotel room waiting, so there's no hinges.
Can't wait to have you at our next road rally, Chris.
And on that note,
And on the Padam. So thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. You can listen to us wherever you stream your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, anywhere else is accessible. YouTube as well. Thank you to our YouTube listeners. If you enjoy your podcasts early, you can access them via Apple Podcasts on our subscription-based program for $2 a month. A low rate of $2 a month. I don't know what else costs $2 anymore, but our early access podcasts sure do. And we will also be setting them up via Spotify as well at some point, but I just don't know when that is going to happen. But thank you guys again for listening, and thank you, Jake, for being our very first and honorary guest today. And thank you, Chris, for being the biggest faggot on the planet Earth.
you are so
Bye!
welcome. Bye.
Bye.